50% of all the people that will leave your Rotary Club have been with your Rotary Club less than 3 years. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Why? Why does that happen? Somebody?
They never got involved the way they thought they wanted.
Okay, they never got involved. They never got the hook. Okay?
Same thing.
So- Didn't get involved?
They didn't go to Rotary convention.
They didn't go to a Rotary convention. Is that right? There you go, Gene.
That's it.
Didn't go to a Rotary convention. Yes, sir.
Didn't get empowered.
Empowered. What does that mean, empowered?
To me, it means to be shown that you can do something and that there's support to do it.
Okay. All right. Somebody else. Yes, sir.
They weren't explaining the story of Rotary and what Rotary actually does. They've never been trained.
Isn't it true that the people that leave Rotary do not know what they do not know about Rotary? I'll say that again, because that doesn't make much sense. They don't know what they don't know about Rotary. If they knew what this organization was, they'd never leave it. It's the greatest service organization in the entire world. Jack said today, he said he's made his dreams real. He did things that he's never even dreamed that he could ever do. That's right. And the other question is whose fault is that? Why do they leave us? I brought in members where we gave them their badge, we gave them a bill, and we served them chicken. What's that? That sounds like it? And they left. Why? What's that? No beef. I'm walking over here because this is the sacred part of the room. No beef. I love it. Stay in Rotary. We serve beef. Is that what we're doing? Okay. Okay. All right. Where's the beef? Maybe we can come up with a new theme. Okay. All right. So people that leave Rotary, can I say that they don't get Rotary in their heart? Is that fair to say? So how do you get Rotary in somebody's heart? Yes, sir.
You give them an assignment, give them a job.
It needs to be something that they want to do. Okay, there has to be a connection. It has to fit. I know Rotary clubs that when you join Rotary, within 1 month, you've got to come up with a project. I don't care what it is. Pick up trash, whatever it is. You look around, see if there's something that needs to be needed to be done in the community. I'll get right back to you. Yes, ma'am.
I think by mentoring,
Mentoring?
by example.
Okay.
And if I were in business, I would definitely join the Rotary because of the example that I've had from my husband.
Okay.
Because he's a Rotarian through and through, every day in everything that he does.
He never does what?
In everything that he does.
Everything that he does.
Okay. He does Rotary every day. Right. Is Phil your husband? I already know that. I talked to him last night. We're already working together. Yes, sir.
I think you need to have succession planning going on, not just in your leadership, but in the membership levels. That if you have, the smallest of programs in your club, you need to plan on who's going to carry that on for you the next year, so that you can be a senior generation that's helping them succeed, so that they have success in service.
Okay. Right. You should have a succession plan. But don't good businesses have succession plans?
Yeah, but let them have, let your new members have success in doing service in Rotary.
Okay. In other words, get them involved in Rotary. I'll come right back to you. I had a hand up over here. Yes, ma'am.
I think the project's very important, but it's also important for them to be involved in a project that involves other Rotary members. So they bond with the other members, they experience the satisfaction of working with other like-minded people on the project.
Okay. How many Rotarians do you see that only know Rotary within their club? You see it all the time. They never go out and make up in another club. They don't go to a conference like this. They don't go to an international convention. It's hard to get Rotary in your heart if you don't get involved. Yes, sir.
You know, I think it's important to have new members have an opportunity to come up with an idea. Because everything Rotary does starts with an idea of a single Rotarian. And if you really make them realize the power they have to enlist all the aid of everyone else, the whole structure, to get
Sure.
something done, that's key.
How do you think Polio Plus got started? One Rotarian in one Rotary Club. That's how they got started. Yes, sir.
I think, I asked somebody when they were coming up to the meeting. No, their meeting is for committee chairs and leadership. So, you know, that's the message sometimes. It gets out, it's a social, you get everyone else, but they don't come with this.
Sure. You got to get involved. Mentor programs, getting people involved. Yes, sir. Sorry. Speak up so everybody can hear. I wish we had a traveling mic, but we don't. We do have a traveling mic? We did?
We do.
Oh, we do? Go ahead.
Well, I was just trying to improve my retention rate, my personal retention rate. So the last one, I invited, we joined the club, and I started picking him up every, Thursday.
Whoa.
I'll come get you. I'll come get you.
Okay.
Then I know he's going to be there. And he started reciprocating. He said, I'll come get you. I said, that's great. So we were doing this little tag team. And so he got in the habit of coming every Thursday. And that made it easier. We would sit together. If we couldn't ride together, we'd say the other a spot. And then I'd make sure he started talking with everybody. This is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. And we got him given the pledge one time, right away from the get-go. And he's coming to the conference. He's driving here today. He's a new member. And also, it helped because Ruth Jackson, our president, said, these are the 3 things. Once you're in the club, you have to do this and this and this. So I went back to him and said, okay, we have to do this and this and this, and we need to do it right away.
Sure.
And he did it.
Sure.
So it was just,
But you mentored him along, and you got him involved in Rotary.
and we're going to keep him.
You're going to keep it. Okay? Good for you. You know, it's interesting. I was in Rotary for 4 years, but I didn't become a Rotarian until after 4 years of being involved. And one day, I have to admit that I went to my meeting, and I went home, and I was walking out with a very good friend of mine named Jim Tote. And I told Jim, I said, this Rotary stuff is stupid. I'm really tired of it. I pay my dues, I've got perfect attendance, I'm tired of eating chicken, and I'm done. I'm done. Then he looked at me and he stopped in the parking lot, he looked right in my eyes, and he said, let me ask you something, Greg. How can you ever expect anything out of Rotary if you don't give something to Rotary? And I drove home very, very nicely that day. And the following week, and Pam, my wife, knows this, we had it's kind of funny how Rotary works sometimes. We had a man that stood up the next week and said, by the way, we have a young child. He's 10 years old. He's just had open heart surgery down in Mexico. He has no clothes. He did not have running water. He lives with a dirt floor. The father's abandoned the family. They have nothing. They have no money. And that's where they are. He said, I need somebody in this club to step up and take on a project. Jim looked across the room. My hand kind of went up like this, and I became a volunteer. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I stood up and I said, this young child doesn't have any clothes, the family doesn't have any clothes, they don't have any money. And all of a sudden I learned what Rotary was really about. But I learned that family of Rotary is all about. Because all of a sudden people started passing a bucket. And all of a sudden I had $800 that I was to take down to Mexico. The following week, everybody started bringing clothes. We found out the sizes of the family members and brought clothes in. 2 weeks later, I took my wife's brand new Suburban. You remember that, Pam. That did not go over well. And we went into the interior of Mexico, not even knowing where this young child lived.